Good afternoon يا سنة أولى. We are going to learn today a new poem. It's called Daffodils. A daffodil is a yellow flower. Our poet today is William Wordsworth. He was the first great poet of Romantic period. He was born in England and he educated at a grammar school where he was allowed to come close to the life of the country people. This early and continuous contact with nature influenced his poetry very much. He lived in the countryside and this affected his writing so much. He was the greatest poet of the Romantic period. He died in 1850. Okay, we will read our poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet cloud not but be gay. In such a jocund company I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For often when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flashed upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with daffodils. Okay, we are going to paraphrase now. Okay. First of all, we will know our new vocab. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered means walked with no aim. That floats on high over vales and hills. Float means go up in the air. Or means over. Vales means small valleys. Crowd, large number together without order. Host, a host of golden. A host means great number. Fluttering and dancing. The word fluttering means moving gently, and the word breeze means soft mind. Okay. The poet says here that while he was walking along like a cloud in the sky, he suddenly saw a large number of golden daffodils. They were beside the lake, under the trees, dancing in the gentle wind. Okay, our figures of speech. Of course, we have a simile in I wandered lonely as a cloud. The simile, we know that it's a simile because here we can see the as. The poet compares himself to a cloud. Of course, we have lots of contrasts. Lonely, its contrast is crowd, vales, hills, over, beneath, and all these contrasts stress the morning. Okay. We have also personification in the word fluttering and dancing. Of course, no flowers dance or no flowers flutter. Flutter means moving gently. This is personification. The poet personifies the daffodils as a people dancing. Okay, stanza 2. We will begin by the new vocab. Continues as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched. Of course, twinkle means to shine in a trembling way. On the Milky Way. Milky Way is the name of our galaxy. Margin is the edge. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. A margin is the edge of the bay. The bay is a part of the sea enclosed by a curve of the shore. Along the margin of a bay, the 10,000 saw I at a glance. A glance is a quick look. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Tossing means raising up their heads in a sprightly dance, in a lively dance. Okay. The poet describes the daffodils as stars that shine in the sky. They are stretching in an unending line. He can't see an end to this line. They are of a very great number and they are moving in a lively way. Here we have a simile and personification. Simile continues as, of course. When we see the as, we know that it is a simile, as or like, of course. Okay, the poet describes the daffodils as stars that shine in the sky. What about the personification? Of course, we will see it in tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The poet personifies the daffodils as humans moving their heads. Of course, any flower doesn't have a head, but a human being has a head. So it's a personification. Okay, stanza 3. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet couldn't but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth this show to me had brought. Okay. The new vocab is outdid. Here we have outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Outdid means did better than. Glee means joy and happiness. Gay means happy. Jocund, the word jocund, in such a jocund company means cheerful company. And the word gaze means to look for a long time and stare. Okay, the poet here says that the daffodils dance better than the waves. Their sight is lovely and it fills the poet with happiness that he can't go, but he stays there looking at them for a long time. Of course, we have here a personification. The waves beside them danced. The poet personifies the waves as people dancing. Okay, stanza 4. For often when on my couch I lie, couch means bed, in vacant or in pensive mood. Vacant means free from thoughts. Pensive means thoughtful, and mood is the state of mind. They flashed upon that inward eye. Flashed means appear suddenly in front of an eye, which is the bliss of solitude. Bliss means heavenly happiness. Solitude means loneliness. Okay. Finally, the poet describes the effect of the daffodils on him, as when he lies on his bed, he remembers the daffodils and this makes him happy. Okay, I will again, please, معلش, I forgot about the figures of speech. Okay, we have here a personification and dances with daffodils. طبعا, of course, no flowers dance. The poet personifies his heart as a person dancing. Okay, again, I will summarize the paraphrase of the poem. هراجع معاكم تاني paraphrasing. Okay. The poet describes the great beauty of daffodils. He shows how he is moved by the beautiful scene, then describes how later on he recollects the emotions evoked in him by that scene. The poem is composed, يا سنة أولى, of 4 stanzas. In the first stanza, he says, I was wandering alone when suddenly I saw a large number of daffodils moving as if they were dancing. Here it is. Yes, here it is. In the second stanza, he says, the daffodils stretched along the lake like the stars that shine in the sky. And in the third stanza, he says, the water in the lake was moving and dancing as well. But the daffodils were lovelier and happier. Their happiness made the poet happy too. Okay. In the last stanza, he says, sometimes when I lie at home thinking and feeling unhappy, I remember the beautiful daffodils which I saw that day. And then my heart fills with happiness and peace. Okay. The poem here is composed of 4 stanzas. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B, A, B, C, C. Besides the description of the beautiful daffodils, the poet is writing about himself. He is writing about nature, and at the same time, يا سنة أولى, he is writing about himself in relation to the nature. There is lots and lots of contrasts we saw with each other before. The poet was lonely, then suddenly he saw a crowd. In the second and the third stanzas, he described the beauty of daffodils together with other objects of nature, stars and waves. Thanks for today. I hope you understood your poem. I'll be in touch with you later. Thank you, سنة أولى.